everybody, what's up? Circus here, coming at you with another follow-up to a follow-up video. We recently had our update to best way to start your new account video that came out, and we were talking about getting deck engines and getting staples, and some people were worried with XZs coming out in the future if it's worth still getting these staples, if they're going to be relevant when XZs do come out. So I wanted to bring PDS in because one, he's on staff and he's been playing the TCG for a long time, so he has a lot of experience with the XZs. And then Kamell is here, as always, just to hang out and add his 2 cents. So how are you guys doing?
I'm doing great.
Chilling.
All right. So PDS, why don't you explain a little bit how XZs work?
So the main way to do it is just having two monsters with the same level, and you simply just put them on top of each other, and then you put the extra deck monster on top of those two, and then their effects work by they use the phrase detach. So when you detach, you remove it from the Xyz monster and send it to the graveyard, but it's not the same as a card being sent from the field to the graveyard. It's kind of like when they're Xyz materials, they're basically they're like in a space like time warp. They're not anywhere in the game. They're just under the Xyz monster as materials. So
Okay, so can those be targeted?
no, they cannot be targeted.
Okay. But once someone summons an XZ's monster, can that be targeted in most cases?
Yes, the monster itself can be targeted unless it has something that's like this card cannot be targeted.
Right. So
Does an Xyz monster lose its materials if it's flipped?
No, it does not.
Okay, good to know.
okay.
And it's also interesting. Sometimes you might lose track of which monster's which when you're flipping them face down, but the Xyz monster will always have its materials shown to you. So, we were discussing this a little earlier with magical hats. You magical hats the Xyz monster, and then their materials are sticking out, so you can tell right away, like, oh, that's the XYZ monster.
Oh, okay. All right. So if someone's starting a new account, they got all these gems. We're telling them to go after Canadia. We're telling them to go after Floodgate, Cosmic Cyclone. These cards are still going to be relevant, right? Because someone summons an XYZ monster. It could be a powerful one, but you can still hit it with a Floodgate or a Canadia.
Exactly.
Okay.
A lot of the XYZ monsters have so there's a lot of different ways. You should be familiar with quick effects like Madame Veer. You discard a card, negate the field. That's a quick effect. But a lot of monsters have trigger effects like Gozuki, like Solitaire. You have to actually activate them during the main phase. So a lot of Xyz monsters are like that, where you have to detach, so you remove the materials to activate them. So that is something where Canadia is very powerful against them, because you can do it before they get a chance to detach. So they end up not having their effect. So like when you Canadia Gozuki, for instance, they don't get to send their spectral sword. That's really powerful. So it's kind of similar in that aspect.
Okay. And then let's say you're playing XZs and you don't want to get Floodgated. You don't want to get Canadian. That's where you'd want your Cosmic Cyclone, right? To make sure the back row is clear, exactly, so that you can summon safely to the field.
Yeah, exactly. So all those cards are still, those are your staple cards. Those are always going to be good until Konami is just like, all right, we have to ban these. Like, those cards will always be extremely powerful at what they do.
Right, and just going off of what PDS said about a lot of Xyz monsters having trigger effects, not only do a lot of Xyz monsters have trigger effects, but out of those trigger effects, we're not going to be getting, especially stellar Xyz monsters for months. So a lot of the cards that we have access to in the new card pool are going to be susceptible to Floodgate very easily.
And now we have some examples on the screen that you guys wanted to talk about. Was there one you wanted to start with first?
Yeah, so I just want to let you guys know these are not cards we think we're gonna get. It's just an example to show you, like, these are like some of the most used Xyz monsters of their era. So this is just an example to show you guys, like, oh yeah, they really do have like these effects that we can stop with Canadia. So right off the bat, number 11, Big Eye, which is number 33 on the list. He has an effect that says, once per turn, you can detach one material from this card. then target one monster your opponent controls, take control of that target. So it's very, very strong, right? So that is something that as soon as they summon it, you can floodgate it or Canadia it, and that's it. They don't get to use the effect. Like it's not a quick effect. They just can't use it. And yeah, so that is one example. Another example, number 101, Silent Honor Arc. That's number 35 on the list.
Oh, you keep getting me with the numbers of
yes.
the.
Yeah, sorry about that. There's numbers. They had like this whole part of the, anyways, part of the anime. Okay, so this is another card. You can detach 2 materials from this card, then target one special summon monster your opponent controls in face-up attack position, attach it as a material. So basically, you take their monster and you suck it up and put it under this card. But that is, again, a trigger effect. So you have to actually activate it during the main phase. So this is another card where if you floodgate it or Canadia it, you know, they just don't get their effect. So this is kind of...
question on this one. So they detach the materials, then target, then you could hit them so they lose their materials and it gets floodgated? Or
No. It's not an on-summon effect. It's you have to activate it kind of thing. So
well, right. So they detach the materials, and then you can Canadiate it. So the materials go to the grave, then you Canadiate it, and they don't.
No. It'll still suck up your
okay.
Your thing. Yeah. So
okay.
You got to be careful. You got to do that before they do it. So yeah, it's a very powerful card, but again, you can stop it with your interruptions.
Okay.
So another card here, it's 36 on the list. Diamond Direwolf. Mm-hmm. Once per turn, you can detach one material from this card, then target one beast, beast warrior, winged beast you control, and one other card in the field, destroy them. So usually with this card, you would summon it, then target one of their cards and this card, and then you would pop both of them. So it's kind of like, just on-demand removal. But this is another card. This is a trigger effect. So you have to actually activate it during the main phase. So again, this is another card where if you have your Canadias, your Floodgates, you're just going to stop him from doing his effect. So,
and then it's 1200 defense, so you can attack into it next turn, obviously take it out. And then they end up losing 3 cards out of the whole deal, right? Because they had to have the 2 to summon it, and then this card, right?
Yes. So, those cards, Floodgate, Canadia, Cosmic Cyclone, these cards are extremely powerful. They're even, like Cosmic Cyclone is still used in TCG. When Lynx had just came out, they were still using Floodgates to basically you would it's kind of complicated, but it would basically lock them from summoning from the extra deck effectively. So it was very powerful in certain matchups. So these cards will be strong. Yeah, they're going to be good for a very long time.
Right, and you just you like PDS said, you're losing 3 cards, and then if it's so much more dangerous if you overextend into Xyz monsters and you get floodgated, because Xyz monsters have ranks. And if you are able to lock up their board to a point where they cannot establish multiple monsters, they're not going to be able to Xyz summon. They're not going to be able to do anything anymore.
And here's another thing also. You don't even have to Floodgate or Canadia the Xyz monster. You can just Floodgate and Canadia. When when you see they have 2 level 4s, just Canadia one of the level 4s, and that's it. Like they can't even XYZ summon. Like they're
done.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
They're not done, but they.
Right.
That's a huge. They're gonna hinder their strategy greatly. Like they're just not gonna be able to do stuff.
Right. So as you go forward and you're still working on your new account and people are saying, oh, just save your gems, save your gems. Remember, the staples are going to be good going forward. And that's why they're called staples, because they're good to have no matter what the meta is or where the game is going. So keep that in mind when people are trying to talk you out of it. We're going to try to talk you into it. Keep farming for those gems. Keep going after those staple cards. Get your Canadians, get your Floodgates, get your Cosmic Cyclone, get your engines. And just stay the course and save your gems for those cards, and then start working on the decks like we recommended in the earlier videos. So do you guys have any closing thoughts, Kamell?
No, I'm just saying the correct path is not easy. You're going to gain so much more from having these things in your account. And then as the beginning of the Xyz era progresses, you can pick and choose where you want to invest. At the beginning of Synchro era, we did not have anything super impactful for months on end. I would not put all my chips in Xyz era blowing me away. I'd rather have those things that are going to make my account better, guaranteed.
All right, and PDS?
I was going to say, I just wanted to reinforce, the Cosmic Cyclone is like the best spell and trap removal we have in the game. You know, like when Shiranui lost access to Cosmic Cyclone, they were playing like Twister. Like that's how crazy it is. Like if you don't have Cosmic Cyclone, you have to play some like meme stuff. I was even seeing Dice Foon. Like, you know, that is Cosmic Cyclone is like the best spell and trap removal in the whole game. So you gotta have 3 copies of it. You know, at the very least 2, but definitely, you know, 3 is something you should strive for.
Yeah, sure.
All right, so I hope you guys found this video informative, and if you want us to talk about XYZs a little bit more, just let us know in the comments below, and we can definitely do that. I'm getting excited because there's going to be a whole new era of Yu-Gi-Oh! In a month or 2 here. So, but if you did like the video, you know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe. Follow us on Twitch, Twitter, and Discord. Make sure you get in the Discord because that's where we host all of our tournaments. You'll get notified when those get announced, and they're always free to join.
Tournaments in 2 weeks.
What's that?
2 weeks. Celebration tournaments in 2 weeks, guys. 2 weeks.
Yeah, our
So if you're on YouTube, you want to get in the uncapped $100 1,000 subscriber celebration tournament, join the Discord. It's going to be in 2 weeks.
or it was months ago, depending on when you watch this video. And don't forget about Gamersupps. There's a link for that in the description below. You get 10% off. We all love drinking it. So that's all for now. I'm Circus. That's Kamell and PDS.
Peace out, guys.
See ya.
We'll see you next time.